Welcome back, cinephiles, to another deep dive into the treasures of classic cinema. Today, we're shining a spotlight on one of the true crown jewels of the gangster genre, a film that I reckon not a lot of you have heard of. Angels with Dirty Faces. If you haven't yet had the pleasure of experiencing this gritty, morally complex masterpiece, buckle up because you, my little chaps and chapettes, are in for a wild ride through a world filled with streetwise tough guys, crooked lawyers, and one unforgettable gangster. Now, if you've ever wondered why your grandparents and even parents couldn't stop singing the praises of James Cagney, Pat O'Brien, and a young Humphrey Bogart, well, my friends, this is the film that explains it all. Angels with Dirty Faces isn't just another gangster flick. Oh no. It's a cinematic tour de force, brimming with the heart, action, and a web of moral dilemmas that'll have you questioning everything by the end of the film. It's one of those movies that pulls you in, leaves you thinking, and makes you grateful that you took the time to watch it. So, get comfy, grab a little G&T maybe, because today we're deep diving into why this film has stood the test of time, why black and white movies should be part of your must-watch list, and of course why James Cagney could outcharm anyone, even while holding a Tommy gun. Right, are we ready? Let's go. So, let's dive right into the plot, shall we? Angels with Dirty Faces at its core is a story of two childhood friends who take very, very different paths in life. We've got Rocky Sullivan, played by the incomparable James Cagney, a street-smart, hot-tempered gangster who makes his name on the wrong side of the law. And then there's Jerry Connolly, played by Pat O'Brien, who, in a twist you'll only find in this film, chooses the noble route, becoming a priest. Because, sometimes life hands you a moral crossroads, and you make a choice. But, ladies and gentlemen, here is the twist. Despite being on opposite sides of the law, these two friends never truly sever the bond. Father Jerry's got his hands trying to keep the local dead-end kids from idolizing Rocky and falling into the same criminal traps he did. Meanwhile, Rocky's back in town after a stint in the clink, and let's just say he's not exactly passing out the communion wafers. The tension between these two old friends is where the heart of the film lies. Father Jerry's out there trying to save souls, while Rocky's out there, well, let's just say he's too busy being a gangster to think about redemption. It's like the Odd Couple, if one of them carried a Tommy gun and the other wore a collar. Oh, and we can't forget about the always slick Humphrey Bogart as the shady lawyer James Fraser, because why not add a crooked attorney into the mix of moral chaos? Fraser's in on a dirty real estate scam with Rocky, and as you can imagine, the things go down quickly. Not for the best. I mean, spoiler alert, it's still early days for Bogart here. He wasn't quite the icon yet, but even in this role, you can see the cool, calculated intensity that would eventually make him a cinematic legend. So, in a nutshell, we've got friendship, betrayal, gangsters, priests, crooked lawyers, and a whole lot of tension, all wrapped up in a package that'll keep you glued to the screen, and that is just the beginning. Now, let's tackle a question that might be bubbling in your mind. Why should I watch a black and white movie? Isn't that like watching a TV with the colour turned off? Ah, my dear cinephiles, let me open you to the magic of black and white cinema. If you've never experienced a black and white classic like Angels with Dirty Faces, then you're missing out on a visual experience that modern films often overlook. Every shadow, every beam of light in this movie is meticulously crafted, not just for aesthetics, but to tell a story all unto its own. The cinematography here, brilliant. It's like an art form unto itself. You see, black and white doesn't just strip away colour, it forces you to focus. Focus on the story, focus on the characters. Without the distraction of colour, it's like a beautifully composed symphony, where the visuals become the melody and every note hits with perfect precision. It's like the cinematic equivalent of a perfectly balanced meal. No need for flashy garnishes or unnecessary frills, just the main course. Incredible acting, sharp direction, and dialogue so tight it could cut through glass. The high contrast between light and shadow creates an atmosphere, a mood that oozes tension and drama. When you watch a black and white film, for example, you feel the suspense because the visuals don't just show you what's happening, they pull you in. They envelop you in the moment. You're not just an observer, you are part of the story. And let's not forget when you've got James Cagney lighting up the screen with his sheer charisma. Who needs colour? His presence commands every frame, every scene, and that alone makes you forget about the absence of vibrant hues. Black and white isn't just a choice, it's an invitation to the cinema, the way it's meant to be seen. Raw, powerful, and utterly captivating. Let's talk about James Cagney, shall we? In Angels with Dirty Faces, Cagney doesn't just play a gangster, he is the gangster. His performance is electric, blending raw emotion with unshakable bravado, which is why he becomes Hollywood's quintessential tough guy. You see, Cagney has this rare ability to mix charm and menace. He'll flash that little signature smile of his, and you're never quite sure whether to be impressed or terrified. Rocky Sullivan is the kind of guy who could sell you a bridge and steal your wallet in the same breath. Yet somehow you like him. Cagney's rapid-fire delivery and physicality, especially that iconic strut, makes Rocky one of the most compelling anti-heroes in cinema. But it's not just the tough guy persona. You see, there's real depth here. In one unforgettable scene near the end, no spoilers, I promise, as Rocky faces execution, Cagney delivers a performance so ambiguous and masterful you'll be left questioning whether his emotional breakdown is genuine or a calculated move to protect the kid's image of him. It's a moment that lingers long after the credits roll. One of the many reasons Cagney's performance is legendary. Let's talk about other heavyweights in the film. Humphrey Bogart, still a few years away from superstardom, is a pitch perfect as the sleazy, crooked lawyer. He's got that slime and sleaze down, and when he shares the screen with Cagney, it's a masterclass in scene-stealing verbal sparring. Then there's Pat O'Brien as Father Jerry. He's not your typical preachy priest. O'Brien gives him real depth and conviction. You believe him when he's trying to steer the dead-end kids away from Rocky's path. But what makes their dynamic truly compelling is that Father Jerry doesn't try to preach redemption to Rocky. He tries to reach him. O'Brien's quiet intensity is the perfect counterbalance to Cagney's fiery energy. Together they create the ultimate yin and yang of this film. We can't talk about Angels with Dirty Faces without giving a shout out to the Dead End Kids, a group of young actors who brought a level of raw realism to the film that was practically unheard of in 1938. These kids weren't just acting tough, they were tough, hailing from gritty New York neighborhoods, and you can feel that authenticity in every scene. Their chemistry with Cagney, it's the real deal. They looked up to him both on and off screen, and you can see that genuine admiration come through in their performances. Rocky becomes their idol, the embodiment of making it, the only way they know how. But then there's Father Jerry trying to pull them away from Rocky's dangerous influence, a battle between the allure of a tough guy role model and the wisdom of a man who wants to save them from themselves. At the heart of it all is one of the film's most powerful themes: influence and idealization. Who we look up to, who we choose to emulate, it matters, and with Angels with Dirty Faces, explores this with heartbreaking nuance, showing how easily admiration can spiral into destruction, and how difficult it is to steer those we care about into a better direction. It's a theme that resonates just as deeply today as it did back then. When Angels with Dirty Faces hit theatres, it was a critical smash. The film lauded for its gritty realism, powerful performances and emotional depth. James Cagney even earned an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, and many critics at the time hailed it as one of the best films of the year. And guess what? Modern critics feel the same way. This film has secured its place in cinematic history, often cited as one of the greatest gangster films ever made. So let me just ask you, why should you watch Angels with Dirty Faces today? For starters, it's a masterclass in acting. Cagney, O'Brien and Bogart deliver performances that are still dissected in film schools all over the world. These performances aren't just legendary, they grip you. The story, their performances, they grip you from start to finish. The characters, they're layered and unpredictable, and the themes, oh my god, timeless. Whether you're a die-hard classic cinema lover or just looking for something with real substance, this film has everything. And let's be honest, once you witness Cagney's iconic final scene, you'll get to understand why this film has endured for over 80 years. It's not just a movie, it's a piece of cinematic history that lingers long after the credits roll. So, cinephiles, if you haven't yet, do yourself a favour and experience Angels with Dirty Faces and leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the film. Let me know if you've seen any of the black and white films. Recommend any black and white films that I might not have seen or fellow cinephiles haven't seen. And let's be honest, Angels with Dirty Faces, in my opinion, it's one of those rare films that transcends time. And trust me, you'll understand why it is a treasure in cinema. So please, watch the film for me. But yes, anyway, please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of that stuff. Hit that notification bell because it really does the channel a favour and means I can do more of these deep dives into the world of cinema, from black and white films to modern films to all different types of films. But yes, anyway, that's me today. That's the Cinephiles. So be lucky, stay cheeky, and have a wonderful day.